Hey, this is Dave Allen, and I wanted to talk to you today about a chart. When you learn how to read charts in trading, whether you're doing stock trading, whether you're doing crypto trading, this is the key to making money. Now, before we get started, I just want to let you know that there's no financial advice going on here. This is strictly on opinion, and I'm just sharing to you what's working for me. But let's jump right in. Now, the first video, we talked about a few components you wanted to set up. If you don't know what they are, you can watch that first video again. But we're going to reverse engineer this, and we're going to start with TradingView because I want people to see how easy this is to make money when you know how to read the charts. Now, once you set up TradingView, you log in, you're going to click on chart. You're going to basically come to this screen right here. Okay. Now, it's gonna, if you spread, if you're using a laptop, if you kind of spread your fingers across, like one left finger, one right finger, and kind of spread it apart on the pad, you'll make the candles bigger. Okay, so that's pretty much what it is. This is what you're going to be left with here. Now, what we're going to do here is this is a blank chart, so you don't have to worry about it. I'm going to show you how to load up a free chart. This isn't going to cost you anything, but this is how you're going to start to realize what you should be maybe purchasing and what you shouldn't be doing. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come up here to candles. You're going to click on candles and make sure it's on candles. Sometimes it defaults to Heikin-Ashi, to other ones, but you want it on candles. Okay. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to come up here and you're going to click on indicators. Now we're going to want to add two indicators. The first one here is going to be open, close. And I want to make sure I take a little bit of notes because I want to make sure I do this right. Cross alert. Okay. And you want the one here by just Uncle L. So you're going to click on that. Okay. And all you have to do is click on it once and it will add it. Okay. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to add on, this is one of my favorites here, but you're going to go moving average exponential. So that one right there. Now, if you would have typed it right up, you'd only get a couple in here. So moving average. This is the one you want right here. It's the exponential updated. Okay. Now, the first indicator that we did, we're not going to change any of the settings. Okay. But the second one we are. Okay. Now, this is one right here. So this is the first one we did. We're not going to change anything here. Okay. And the second one, which is that line, we're going to change that right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. Oh, sorry. We're going to click on this and we're going to change this 9 to 200 because we want it to go to 200. And the style, you see that blue line? I don't really like the blue line, so I'm going to change it to a nice bright yellow. And I'm going to click on that little line right there. Whoop, click it again, and I'm going to make it a lot thicker. So boom, we now know what's going on. So now we're going to get out of here. Now we've got this all set up the way it's supposed to be. Okay. Now, what do we got to do? Up on the top left here, we're going to check different cryptos. Okay. Now, the next video, I'm going to show you how to find good cryptos, and you're going to basically pump them into the top here. So punch them into the top. I can't even talk today. So let's just say you're going to go and check in for this one right here. So CHZ Okay. Now let's look at this. Now this is the moving average. You always want it to have it below this line right here. You want it above, you want it below the money. You want it below, let's say, call that the price action line. Okay. So the moving average, which is this line right here, you want it below, you always want it below this right here. Okay. Down here, let's see if we can find what we're looking for here. Okay. So down here doesn't look too bad. We want to find some red dots and green dots. We're not finding it here. And you also want it on a, let me go back here. So you want it on a 5-minute chart. So come on over here. You see that? That says 4 hours. Come here and click it on the 5-minute chart. Perfect. So now what's going to happen, and we can spread this apart to make it look bigger if you'd like. Okay, we're going to come up here. It's on candles. Perfect. So we're not going to worry too much about this one right here. But we're going to look at this one and the one up top. So let's find that yellow line. Ooh, that yellow line is way up top there. See that right there? So you definitely don't want it up there. All right, so let's try another one here. All right, let's try Matic. I looked at Matic this morning. So now right here, this was a green line. So this, or green dot, see down there, there's a green dot. That was a buy signal. But look at that. Now all of a sudden a sell signal came, another buy came. So I would have kept an eye on it. It would have went down. All of a sudden that went up to here. But take a look at this. The minute this yellow line crosses the price action, you definitely want to get out. You don't want to keep it in there. So this is very simple. Green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot. You want to follow the dots. And as I said, when you first get this line, it's going to be blue. I like to change it to yellow. You could do it a bright white, whatever color kind of stands out. I like yellow because we have red, we have green. You know, little light blue just doesn't show up very well. So this yellow line, I know what I'm doing here, right? So now what I want to do is I want to make sure I save this chart. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to click where it says unnamed. And I'm going to save it. Now, if I want to rename it, I'm going to come down here, move my little video out of the way here, and I'm going to rename. And I'm going to just call it test for video, because this is the one that I'll come in. And as I'm teaching other charts, I'll go ahead and take that off. Okay. Now this one here, let me just take that off. Okay, that's better. Oh, took the wrong one off, I think. Yep. Okay, so if you delete the wrong one, you can always come back in, go to indicators, and it was moving average exponential, and you add it again. Okay, now it came back for me. Okay, so, oh, actually, I didn't have that. I had that one already. So what did I do? I deleted the other one here by the looks of it. So that one is the open, close. The heck was that here? Open, close, cross, alert. Okay, and that one was by Just Uncle L. And that one we don't touch. So if you delete something, don't worry about it. You can always fix it. I know I'm going a little quick through the video, so just make sure that if you have any questions, definitely go back and watch it. So this would have been a buy signal for me right here. I would have bought right there. Take a look at that. The yellow line, which is the moving average, is below the price action. So it's below this graph, the candles. Okay, and look at that. It would have went from here. So if you would have bought right there, it would have bought it 80 cents, and then at 89.3, okay, you probably would have maybe sold it. Okay, but it's hard to say. Some people might want to ride that out. Let's try a few other ones here, shall we? So let's see, Mana. Now Mana, this was good right through here. Yeah, that would have been a buy signal right there. That would have been definitely, because it's crossing. Well, it's actually going from up here to coming underneath. So it was going above to underneath. So this one here could have been kind of tricky here, even though there was a buy there. All right. Look at that. It went down a little bit. It went up. This came over. I would have definitely kept it going, Look at that. There was a little bit of a dip there, and I would have sold it right there. Okay. Now, when I teach you on the exchange, you can kind of watch. So when it peaks out, you don't have to wait for that red dot to sell. Okay. You definitely don't have to do that. But definitely do the green dot to buy. Make sure the moving average, which is this yellow line right here, make sure it's below. You definitely want some kind of a slant. So you want to slant up. So this would have been definitely better right around there. Once it entered in here, the slant was going up. It was looking quite nicely. But once it got into here, that's kind of in murky water. Look, you got a red dot right there. So, but I would have sold definitely right about here. And when you're watching it live, and when you're watching it, I tend to like to go to the 1 minute chart. That way you can kind of watch it every 1 minute. It's going to update. So look at that up there. That was, that was above there, but that's, yeah. Interesting. So there we are right there. So it's way up there. So on the 1 minute wasn't looking too good, but let's go back to the 5 minutes. All right. And as I said, we were way over here. Let's see what happens. You can see what happens on different times too, but this works best on a 5 minute chart. So 1 minute, it was up there. Let's see, 15 minutes, it was way up there. Okay, so you might want to just keep this on a 5 minute chart because that's where it does work. This chart, the person that I did learn it from, he does talk about it being on a 5 minute chart, so I would definitely keep it on a 5 minute chart. But hopefully that answers your questions. This is very key because when you learn how to run charts and you learn how to read them, then you know how to make money. All right. Now I'm going to show you how to set up the exchange, how to do all the other stuff here on other videos. But for right now, I figured it was important because on the first video, we talked about all the different sites and different services you needed. But I didn't want to start up with going, okay, you need to get some money into the exchange, transfer it here, transfer it there. I wanted to show you the chart because when you learn how to read the charts and you go, okay, you know what? I'm looking at Mana. All right. I'm going to buy there. That was definitely a buy. And I'm going to watch it come here. It's kind of coming here to a smaller candle. Keep an eye on it. Oh, going back to green. Look at that. But once it started this one right here with the long wick on top, you see that long wick, the long red on top, I would have definitely got out right around there. Okay. And because after that, even that green one that started, it started below. That's when I would have bailed on it for sure. And of course, you would have seen this yellow line starting to head towards this. So you know that the closer you get, especially once you get over there, it turns into a mess. As you can see, it gets above, and look at that. It just drops like crazy. So you can look at other ones. You can look at, we'll do a couple other ones here. Let's look at Bitcoin. Okay. So this is definitely pretty choppy up here. Definitely wouldn't be touching it in here. Wouldn't be touching that at all. Okay. Let's see here. Another good one is Ethereum. Let's see what Ethereum's doing. Definitely wouldn't be touching it at all in there because look at the moving average line is way above there. I wouldn't be doing that at all. Even though there was a buy, it was just, there was no money to be made. So I definitely wouldn't have touched it. So you want to make sure that line, whether it's blue, yellow, whatever you set it to, is always below. And ideally, you want it kind of going up on a slant. All right, let's try just a couple more here. We'll see what we can find here. Good old SHIB, right? I like SHIB. I don't know if it's ever going to do anything. I own a lot of it, but if it ever hits $1, you probably won't see me too much. But it's one of those ones with 4 zeros. But even here, okay, if you would have bought some Shiba Inu right there, look at that. The moving average, the yellow line is below the candles. And you would have bought there and you would have rode it up and kept an eye on it. And then as soon as that green went to a red one, it was just a little one. That was your signal that it was going to jump here. Okay. Because here's the deal on the green ones, it enters there, goes up. And actually, yeah, that's pretty good there. I wanted to just check one thing here. Yeah, so the green one is going to enter on the bottom. I always get confused on that. I keep myself a little cheat sheet. So the green, it's going to enter on the bottom. Okay, that little wick below it is as low as it's going to go. Then it's going to go. So it's going to come in, start, drop a wick, that little line down, and then it's going to go up and start. It's going to go all the way to the top. And it's going to spike way to the top. That's the highest it's going to go. So you see that little thin wick? That's as high as it's going to go. Then it's going to come across to the top of the candle part and close out. Now the red one, it's going to enter in up here. It's going to climb up to there. That's as high as it'll go. Then it'll start there and it'll go down. So when you start to learn these little caveats, you start to realize, okay, this is how it works. And don't start trading with your own money. You can do what's called paper trades, start with a pad of paper and just say, okay, I'm going to buy, pretend buy. I'm going to pretend buy $200 right now. How would that $200, how much would you have gotten for the $200? Take that 200 divided by that number there, and then do a pretend sell up here and see how much you would have made. And start to practice on your charts to make sure you understand the charts. When you understand these charts, folks, this is the difference between gambling and actually making some decent coin. Now, in the last 24 hours, I've had some very good trades. I will get into that on the next video, but hopefully you enjoyed this. I am going to be doing other videos on different graphs and different charts, because as you can see, I do have a few other charts here that I use, but this one right here is very, very new with the green dot, red dot. So I wanted to teach that one first because that's the one getting the best results. Okay. So until next time, folks. Oh, and by the way, if you want to learn more, go ahead and hit the leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you'd like. If you'd want a little bit more on what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, follow my trades, see what's going on. You can actually join the group, and I'm going to put a link in the description. It'll give you a direct link on how to join our private group. It's not a Facebook group or anything like that, but it is a private group on a separate platform. So go ahead and join that. You'll definitely be able to follow along. And if you have anything you'd like me to talk about, definitely shoot me a message. I'm definitely easy to get a hold of. Take care, folks. Have a great day.